What's going on, you beautiful humans? Here we are for the Q&A for the week. Obviously, still a few questions to go with a bunch of people having 4 to sort of 7 trades there. Hopefully, you've got around that mark and not less than that. But plenty of things to answer. I already commented on a bunch of them, and we'll go through the rest of them here. Alistair Brown here is Johnson for Trindle good. Might be able to finally get Tommy with the cash. Yeah, so I think that's a really safe trade there. You're dropping about 300k. You're banking 300k to get Trindle, who's going to be doing the majority of the kick meters, kicking the goals, just running the team like Johnson would have been. So if you can get anywhere in the sort of 40s for Trindle, you can actually play him in your top 17 and also get some good cash, good cash grab from him, but use him as a cash out that you can kind of play as well. There's, he's playing with Tracy this week. There's a chance that Moylan comes back, but Moylan would just come into the 6 role and Tracy would go back into the centres or the wing. There's no reason why they play Tracy and also Moylan because they're both running 5'8". So I think his position is really safe in the squad. I think he'll do a good job. Cooperus, best options this week, 650k and below. Let's have a little geese, hey? If you're looking at guys in my team there, 650 and below, there's not a lot. You got Madison, who's playing really well, but he's above that now. Taumalo at 652. Watson, obviously, if you haven't got him, playing 80 minutes on the weekend was really, really solid. Anyone else in there, I wouldn't be going for too much. Play Java again. 650, if we're looking down the line there, Tedesco is a big one for me to pick up this week. Thompson's out for 3 weeks. I wouldn't be picking Barnett. There's not a lot of guys. Ponga's there's a decent option. I'd be going Victor Radley, who's a little bit cheaper. Fanil Blake's out this week. Adam Dewey's another solid option that people ask me about. Going to be great for the wing fullback position, but also you can play him in the halves as well. If you have Johnson out or Fog's not playing, whatever you've got in your squad, they're kind of the guys that I'd be looking to pick up at this stage, and that would be all. So we'll go with that one for Cooper. Johnson for Teddy, 180k in the bank. Not sure how I'm going to get clear unless I trade out of DCE. You definitely don't want to trade DCE. Hope someone gets in just so it can be an easy trade for Cleary. I suppose, for most people, that's how it's going to be. / a lot of people won't be able to get him back, and that's just unfortunate. If you have the opportunity to get him, then that's great. But if you don't, then you want at least DCE and Hughes, I think, for the rest of your squad. Does anyone know how the Discord link for the... I'll pop that in there. Garban. Jaden Cottle getting Dewey in for Johnson. Have looked at getting either Cook or DCE. Not sure who I should get out of them two. Cook or DCE. Definitely DCE. Depends on whether Cleary will be back next week. Yeah, Cleary will definitely be back. I'd be going DCE. Happy if you get Dewey as well. If you can't get Cleary, then it's probably how it's going to be. It's unfortunate this time of the year. Round 21, round 22, he comes back. You get him for 4 or 5 rounds. And he's a lot of money to bring in. So if you can get someone now who's going to be scoring, an average of 70 or just above in DCE, I think you make up for that week or two that. The bunch of weeks that you don't have Cleary, and maybe he comes back and doesn't score 90. I think we're all looking at him and going, is he going to average 98, or is he more chances of averaging somewhere in the 70s? And if you think he can average 75 to 80, then it's worth just picking up DCE this week. I'm in a head-to-head comp. Can I still make trades for the finals in my comp? Yes, because the fantasy comp will go for the remainder of the season. So it could be, starting in next week. It could be starting in round 22. You might have 22, 23, 24, 25, or 23 to 26 might be your 4 rounds, however your settings is set up to be able to do that. Just have a look at the settings in your head-to-head comp. I get trading Moses out this week, and I'm using 1 trade as a 5 left. Ponga and Dewey seem to be my 2 options, which would say is a better option. If you have 5 trades left, I'd probably try and hold Moses and just play someone else, even if it's a 40-point player. I think that's worth it more than using the 5 trades to get 2 players that are probably less. They're not going to score as well as Moses. So I think you make up for it over the next bunch of weeks keeping Moses if he comes back next week. Obviously, if it's lingering and he doesn't come back over the next few weeks, then that's annoying. But the talk is that he should be back in the next week, maybe 2 at max. So I'd be trying to hold that. If you are going to make the trade, then I'd be going for Ponga overall. Dewey has a nicer run home, and Ponga's in a team that's struggling. But I think Ponga's going to be your better player and has been over the past. SJ to DCE and Kelly to cash outs. Which cash out? Just someone who plays this week if you need a player. If not, just go someone 228k who's a dual position guy that you can move around. But you really don't need them to be playing. That's all that matters here. Should I trade Thompson or hold? I have 8 trades. If you have 8 trades, I'm happy for you to trade him. Anything less than sort of 6, I'd be holding steady. He obviously did score well. You get that price rise out of him. He's just not too expensive. Like if it's 800k, I'd say definitely move him on. But being that cheaper price, you can always hold on if you've got a strong 17 around him. If you don't have a strong 17 and you need someone to replace him straight up, then you should probably trade him out. One trade left, still have Pap, Cleary, and Hines. Who stays, who goes? All of them. They all have to stay. Do you reckon trading To'o down to Ponga and Johnson up to Hunt is a good trade? So have 5 left, so you'd have 3 left. Have Hughes and Tommy. Yeah, so if they're the only players you can get, I'm completely fine with that. They're both sideways trades, but two guys that are injured for 2 really good guns to play on. I've been doing some calculations how I'm going to get Cleary next week. I'll have 437k in the bank, but I have no one to trade down to unless a gun in my team gets injured this week. Can you make a vid or talk about which guys can be downgraded? All right, well, if you're looking at the types of guys that we have in our side, then you're looking at guys like Schuster, who could be downgraded. You got Johnson, who you could do that. Guys like Tyson Gamble in the next few weeks could be possibilities. I think Watson's a hold. If you're looking at other guys in that sort of mid-tier that we may have moved on, I think Luke Brooks is a solid guy you can downgrade. You could do a Reynolds or something like that. McCulloch, someone is on the borderline if you have a lot of trades. Cody Walker just isn't living up to what he needs to be at the moment. Fisher Harris is someone you can move on this week if he's going to be out for 2 to 3 weeks. Johnson's injured if you have him. The rest of the guys above this, unless they've got injured, I think you've got to keep them and their top gun. So there's not too many to downgrade at this stage. Even Averillo I'd be holding just to see what happens this week with Kyle Flanagan. That's all I've got to say on that one there. And if we're moving along, what else we got? Hines to Teddy worth it this week or just hold for another round? I feel like you can just hold. Yes, Teddy scored amazingly, and I think he'll continue to score well moving on from here. But Hines is also a hold until I think he moves out of the fullback position. So, yeah, either way is fine, but I feel like, with most of us having limited trades, I think it's probably worth it just to hold steady on that one. You said Schuster is a hold. Do you think he's a buy for Johnson? No, I don't think he's a buy. I'd rather go for someone like Victor Radley. Someone go a lot cheaper in a Braden Trindle or something like that, I think is smart. Lucky I've got backup for Bird. Yeah, Tommy Talau, who scored, wait for it, 0 points in 80 minutes last week. Yeah, surely he can go better than that. Crazy praying mantis. I completely forgot about the old Bird suspension. Yeah, you're probably taking a gamble playing him as you might get negative. Yeah, cop that. We'll take 20, surely. Need help. All right, Hokey. Do I trade Hines and Tracy to get Teddy and Marnie or Cook? Or do I trade Brayley and Hines to get DCE and Latrell or someone else? I'd definitely say DC and Latrell sounds pretty nice. Teddy and Marnie. Gee, that's strong. I know it's tough. I'd probably just go with the first one. Let's get one more, guys. What do we got? It's best cheapie wing with dual center wing fullback. Just someone who's playing, really. You want someone who's coming in this week as a super cheapie, 228. And that's all I'd be going with. But that's all. That's enough for the questions, guys. I hope that helps. Just please jump in the Discord, send me a message in the comments there, and we'll be able to sort you out from there. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll catch you in the next one. See you, team.